But I'll be on it always, always and ever.
Good Halloween morning. If you have not seen my Halloween video, go back to yesterday where I feed my zombie baby Henry his bottle of brains. And I think it's pretty fun. I had fun making the video. I'm so happy from all the responses I got. I really, really appreciate it. And yeah, go check it out. It's kind of funny. And if you're not into that Halloween, 100% understand. No worries. So guys, I am here with my new baby. This new baby came from Temu. I have a Maddie Mob, someone told me, not a pickle jar, not a Maddie jar, a Maddie Mob. And I like that. I have my twins out in the living room that I have to dress soon, and I have my new baby here that I haven't changed and dressed. Now, I do have a dress, and I know it's kind of fall and cold, but I'm putting this on because let's be real, we can wear any clothes we want on our dolls because they're dolls. And they don't get cold, right? So I'm going to put on this beautiful dress that I've had for a while. Now, I got this dress a while back to put on my Maud. However, Maud is now Martin. So, well, I still could have put it on Martin, but I'm not gonna. I'm going to put it on this sweet one. And I want to reveal her name. I thought about it. Did I write it down? Yes, I got my book going where I have the names written down of the dolls so I do not forget. This baby's name is Francine. I have decided to name this sweet, gorgeous baby Francine, and she is named in, how do I put this? She is named after my childhood friend and my young adult friend that we were very close, especially when we had our daughters. There's only a few months apart between them. She has since moved away, and our friendship has well, when people move away, you know, people get into a different life, and that friendship has dwindled down. And it is a beautiful, beautiful tribute to my beautiful friend, Francine, and this is her baby. And this is her baby. This is who I feel I would like to name this baby after. Now, this baby doll, just like Francine, is darker hair, darker eyes. Now let me think. Now Francine didn't, maybe hazel eyes, maybe green eyes. I'm not sure. I wasn't much into staring at people's eyes, but she did have and continues dark hair. And the beautiful, beautiful smile complexion of this baby is perfect. Perfect. And I love the name Francine. It's a beautiful name. Although I know she always hated that name. But I think it's a beautiful, beautiful name. So, this is Francine. You can see this leg here. Oh, this leg right here is still flat. I still have not stuffed her or weighed her, anything along those lines. I'm waiting a little bit to do that. And when I do that, you know, I'm probably going to put the shine stuff on her. I don't think I'm going to add any paint to her because she has a lot of beautiful color on her and she doesn't need, I don't feel like I need or want to add more paint to her, but I definitely will put the shine stuff on her when I take her all apart and reweight her. But for now, this is Francine, and we're going to get her dressed. Alrighty, guys, let's do it. But before we get Francine dressed, I ordered one of these little babies. Because you know why? I can't remember, but it was super cheap. And I was ordering myself some pajamas, and I thought, oh, I'm going to stick that in there. But isn't this interesting? Look at this. Mario Art Dolls has a blank of 1500, limited edition. Is this encouraging us to pass these dolls off as authentic dolls? I mean, come on, what's going on here, folks? And you turn it over, has a little birth date. But that Mario Art Dolls, is that a Temu? It says original sculpt by Mario? Mia. Oh, I don't know. Do you guys get these with this little baby if you have this little baby? And I also find it interesting. This also came with this little baby, and I will tell you it's a little thing. And I'm going to read what it says. It says, the product name is a reborn doll. The reborn doll is a cute toy doll that means rebirth and hope. Isn't that nice? Its exquisite design and soft material makes it an ideal choice, blah, 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 blah. What does it say? Oh, okay. It just goes on about other things. But I think that's cute the way they spoke about the reborn doll. It means rebirth and hope. And it is rebirth. And that's why we say a reborn doll is a doll that's been repainted, redone in some shape or form. And everybody has a different idea what that looks like. So let's look at this sweet one. Now, while I'm opening up this one, I'm going to bring my other babies up here. And these sweet babies, I still have not matted these babies. These babies came from my beautiful friend, Carol. And she gave me these babies. I've never experienced these sweet ones. And I actually adore these sweet ones. I haven't got any clothes for them. But I need to. And look, I didn't know at first what this was for. But it is, I don't know if you can see it. It is a little soother. Isn't that cute? It's for the crying babies because they cry so much. Oh my goodness. And these ones are so happy. When my son comes in here to talk to me, I'll be on the computer rooting or doing something with a doll. He'll come in here and he'll play with these dolls. He likes to feel of them. He likes to touch them. These are his favorites, which is funny. So let's take out this little munchkin. Look. So cute. So cute. Very similar. Smaller. Very cute. Does it have body? Yes, this is a little boy baby. It does have its body parts. We're going to set this little boy baby here. And he has a little hat. But what is really cool is I didn't realize this baby comes with some clothes. Oh, and it also comes with a soother and a bottle. Oh my gosh, I got to mat these babies. Oh my gosh, it comes with a little teddy bear too. Isn't that the cutest thing? Let's bring this in closer. Isn't that the cutest thing? He comes with a little teddy bear, a little shirt, a little hat, is that a little pair of pants? So he comes with another outfit for the warm weather, because obviously this is summer weather. He comes with a super tiny bottle. Isn't that cute? Oh, it even has a little bit of, let's see, will you? Oh my God, it's a baby. Baby. This baby has brown eyes. And this baby comes with a little soother too. Elephant soother. This one's a little bit smaller. Oh, look at this sweet little baby. Aren't they cute, guys? These little silicone dolls, if you haven't had one, if you don't have one, they're so fun. They're so fun. I love them. So, I wanted to show you guys these babies before I got my Francine dress. So let's jump on over and we'll get Francine dressed. Francine. What a cutie patootie. What a cutie patootie. Now, Do I have her? Did I put her diaper here? I thought I put her diaper here. Or I shifted it over to the side. Yes, I'm going to get that. Now, the reason why is because I don't have big diapers. So I'm going to use this one. Even though I think a lot of people don't like them, I think they're kind of cute, but I'm hoping that this will fit her. So let's get rid of these socks. Oh. Now, Francine and I found we first started hanging out together, I would say it was about grade 4. We were both new students around that time. I think maybe I was first and she was after that. And the fun thing about it is we both were on the same street, Elm Street. And we used to, I know myself and my brothers used to make fun of Elm Street, like Nightmare on Elm Street. Because I lived on Elm Street in Truro, Nova Scotia. And I also lived, my grandmother lived on Elm Street in, what do you call it? Oh, yeah. And someone told me that this is probably on backwards. And that's funny. Because I think they did put it on backwards. Someone on my YouTube said this is probably on backwards. Because it does look backwards. Yep. I think you're right, my friend. So anyway, back to the story. Francine and I became very close. We used to walk to school together. This was elementary. It wasn't far. Now, the school currently now is turned into an apartments. More elite apartments, I would say. But our school at that time, or the community that we lived in at that time, still had things in the school that represented the horrific differences and the horrific history in the school at that time that spoke to separate things for individuals with dark color and individuals who have light colors. And so there was like fountains that were separated but close together. You know what I'm saying? There was different entrances from the back. And for some reason, I'm thinking we were told this in class, that this is what happened many years ago. Isn't that awful? And not far from us, there was a street, and continues to be a street, although it's not a segregated community street anymore. But when I was young, it still was. The schools did not do that, but history and generations of people grew up in the area on a street called Ford Street. And that Ford Street was the community of Black families. And there was also a street, I think it was called Up Young Street, the top of Young Street in the area, and also they call it East Prince Street. Those communal areas, those areas were where individuals in the community that had Black skin, their families and generations of their families lived there. And I remember as a young child, these areas, because I delivered newspapers in the areas and I had friends down in different areas. And I remember the houses were, I guess they stood out. It's not like there wasn't any terrible houses anywhere else, but the houses were all in those areas in poor condition, small. Some people will refer to them as like shacks. It was awful, 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 awful. Now, it's not like that. Now those areas have some of the beautiful, beautiful homes. And it's just a really bad history that over time, those homes were taken down and replaced with new homes. But I remember, I don't know if it was a history lesson. It must have been. It must have been something along those lines where the teacher or something took us around and told us that that school still had remnants of the separation that occurred during the many, many, many years of horrific treatment where kids were separated right down to the water fountains and the bathrooms. And it's awful. Now the school is, like I said, it's still, the outside looks very much the same, except for the beautiful flowers and bushes and things that have been placed there. But it's very like high end, I think more like apartments or flats or whatever you want to call them. Then also thing that I remember quite distinctly about that school was the basement. And the basement, I can do her while I'm doing this. The basement, now her legs don't move her legs don't move at all. So yeah, she definitely needs to be taken apart. And they always overstuff these dolls. The basement was a room where all the children who had, I would say, disabilities, intellectual or whatever disability, were placed in the basement, you know? And it's one of the memories I have. And I don't know how you guys did it in your schools or anything like that. Yeah, this is going to be tight on her. But the basement, I remember, what was it about the basement? I remember, yes, going down there a few times if the teacher got me to collect the milk money or something. And you go down to the classroom and it was kind of like dark in the basement, you know, in this area. And they had like their own separate little eating area, classrooms. Probably they had their own separate teachers, and I don't know if they had their own separate head or anything, because like I said, I was grade 4, 5, 6 when I was in that school. But I do know no one associated with anyone down there. Down there, way down there in the basement. You are one of the basement kids. You know what I'm saying? And my dad worked at the Nova Scotia Youth Training Center, which was a location in the area. A training center is what they called it, but it's basically a place where kids went to live, to grow up, and from their family's home. They never lived with their family. If the family, because it was encouraged, I guess, to send or ship your kid off to a center if they had an intellectual disability or a disability of some sort, that's where your child would go. My dad worked there, and we got to go there in the summer times because a lot of time, not all kids, got to visit families or relatives in the summer, and a lot of staff took time off. Dad continued to work in the summer, and sometimes when he worked the night shift, he would take us there, and we got to look around this place. And they had their own little barber shop. They had their own little... Well, these are too big on her. I'll pull these up. They had their own little bedrooms and roommates and kitchen area and all that. There was only a few kids there that didn't have homes to go to. And they would have to be staffed. And Dad would take us, and sometimes Dad would take some of the children to our houses, to our home, and to the mall with us and things like that. So I had very much a soft spot for any individuals that were in the basement. And I guess it started, my career in that direction, I guess, because I really felt connected in some way and bad. I felt bad. Oh my gosh. Look, guys. Look at Francine. I got to sit her up one moment. There we go. She's so beautiful. So beautiful. So I'm going to put her shoes on and her sweater. 1 second. Boom! There she is. I put these beautiful shoes on her and they fit her. I've tried a couple other dolls. They wouldn't fit. They look fantastic on her. She is all dressed up like she's going to church. And my beautiful friend Francine is an Advent churchgoer, and she got me going to her church, but that's a different story. So, where my story goes is there was this young young like me, obviously. Somehow I'm thinking he was older, because I think the kids in the basement stayed a lot older than, say, grade 7. I'm not really sure, but he appeared older to me. And he used to, I used to arrive at school pretty early. I've always been an early bird. I would arrive at school. I would go up on the steps and stand there and wait for other kids to come. That, I guess, was before I got walking with Francine. And Francine was always a late bird. I always had to wait for her, and we'd be running to school anyway. We were different that way right from the get-go. So, I got to befriend a young fella that was in the basement. And I can't remember his name. Yes, I remember his name. His name is Paul. And he used to go around the school. And all I remember was I'll show you what he used to do when he would go around the school. So when he went around the school, he would walk really, really fast. And he had his hands and he would do this. With both his hands, can't really do it with this hand, but they'd be out to the side and he would do this. And he would walk around the school really fast. He would bend over a little bit and he'd walk around the school really fast. Because I went to the school early, he used to be there early too. And I would stand up in the steps and wait for other kids to come. And he'd be going around the school, going around the school, going around the school. And then he would come up on the steps and just look at me. And he'd be doing that with his hands. And then he would go around the school, come back, look at me, come up on the step, look at me. Wouldn't really do too much. And over a period of time, I would say hi. And he said, Paul. He told me his name, Paul. He didn't really talk much. He just said, I'm Paul. Right. And then I said, my name is Belinda. And so he would go around the school, and anytime he would see me, hi, Belinda, right? And so as time went on, the kids would come and blah, 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 and he would still go around the school. And if he see me with friends, he would come right up to me, stand right up close to me and say, hi, Belinda. And other kids would look at me, of course, like, what are you doing talking to that kid, right? You know, the way kids are. And I'd say hi, and he would keep doing it. And it became more apparent that he would come up to me and follow me around the school. So if I was walking, he would follow me around the school. And my friends didn't like that so much. You know, they just didn't like that. But anyway, that was my beginnings of a relationship of some sort with someone with a disability, hidden disability. because I'm not really sure what his actual diagnosis or issues were. But after I left that school, which had been grade 6, I never ever seen him again. Don't know what happened to him. Don't know nothing about him. Don't know his last name, nothing. It'd be nice if I knew what happened to him. He would have been older than me. I don't think that much. But anyway, I'm getting to this whole thing because I'm thinking about my years with Francine. So Francine lived across the street, and she lived basically right beside the People's Church. And that's the church that she went to. She went to the People's Church. And she got me going to the People's Church. And later in years, the People's Church started having a Christian school. And she left school and she started going there. And I think she left school maybe grade 8. And started going to the Christian school. And I always felt awkward, different, and out of place in the regular school system. I didn't feel like I belonged. And to speed the story up, I was born and raised, and our family was Catholic. And we went to the Catholic Church. Were we faithful Catholic goers? Yes, when we were younger, Mom had us going to go to Sunday school. So we were, so I learned a lot of those things. But we were allowed to listen to music. We were allowed to dance. We were allowed to do these certain things. And my friend Francine was not allowed to do that sort of thing. So it depended. It depended on the music. Like Michael Jackson was a big no-no. I remember that, having a sleepover at her house and bringing a music tape, cassette tape over, and she got in trouble because of that, and we didn't play that. But that's her life, her story to share. So I'm just going to leave it at that. And I will say that I tried to get into that school, and she said, "Oh yes, you can go to this school," and it costs money, you know. But if you were under a certain income, you could be sponsored. And so she said, yeah, you can put your name in the sponsorship, and it brings it to a board and all this. And individuals within the church would, when they gave money to church, they would also give money to sponsorship of children going to the school. I really wanted out of the junior high school environment and leading up. I was really struggling with a lot of different things, mental health wise, emotionally, family issues, different things. And I just did not feel like I fit in. I wasn't into boys. I wasn't into any sort of relationships. I thought that was awful. I was not into drinking or smoking. I wasn't into anything like that. I didn't carry on like the other kids. I was just a weird, awkward, weird kid, I guess, or just different than the majority of the kids. Anyway, filled out all the information, talked to my parents, sat them at the table. I remember talking to them, explained to them why I wanted to go to this Christian school. And I talked about how I didn't fit in, and I remember being tearful, and I want to go there. I think I'll feel like I fit in better because the kids, you know, they're not allowed to have boyfriends. They're not allowed to do these certain things and all this sort of thing. So I thought this is the perfect place for me to have friendships, because you would lose friendships if you didn't do what everyone else was doing, you know? So, they filled out all the information. They filled out the paperwork. We all filled it out, and it was brought to the board that made those decisions if they were going to sponsor. This was a really, really time when I really felt like, wow. Because I was young, and personally, it was a time when I was really, I guess, how do I put this? Judged. There was judgment placed on me and our family by a church and by a church community and a group of people, obviously. The board and the group of people. And so Francine told me, if I remember correctly, that I could be wrong, but there was a lady that was willing to sponsor me. And the church made the decision that they didn't want to approve my entry because of my religion, which was Catholic. And because of that they felt that it would be too different for me, there'd be too much differences in regards to beliefs and all that sort of thing, that they did not think that I should go to that church. And currently at that time, the majority of kids, I would say 95% of the kids that went there were from the People's Church, which was more of a Baptist background, I think. Baptist church. No, yes, we did go to the church when we were younger. We did go on holidays, but we weren't like a big time practicing members of the church, especially when I was in junior high school level. So I remember it really affected me, because I remember, how can they say no when I just want to have goodness and good influence in my life? And that's what I was wanting, good influence in my life. And I remember before it was done, I had a tour of the church. I talked to somebody. I don't know a whole lot. If I had an interview, I cannot remember. But I do remember I was really, I don't know, I was just affected by that. It was my first real experience of rejection. And it was really sad. Anyway, that was the beginnings of, I guess, Francine and I's relationship sort of changing, and my school years started to really go downhill after that. And I ended up leaving school and not graduating. Anyway, back to the beautiful baby, back away from that sort of thing. Those are memories. This is my beautiful baby, Francine. Introducing my beautiful baby, Francine. Let's see if I can bring her up closer if I press this button. Oh, yes. There she is. There she is. Now I could put a bonnet on her head or a bow, and then I just left her head as is. She would look really, really sweet when I do her and refill her and put the shiny stuff on. If I gave her a puff of hair and made a kiss curl or a spit curl or whatever you want to call it, I think that would look really sweet. She is a sweet doll. If you don't have a Maddie, she is a beautiful, beautiful choice. All right, guys, have yourselves a fantastic day. Be careful out there on Halloween. Be careful. And until next time, bye, guys. And don't forget, today is the first day of the rest of your life. What you gonna do about it, folks? What you gonna do? Have a great day, everyone. Bye.